Okay, question 7. An algorithm has been written in pseudocode to calculate a check digit for a 4-digit number. So a check digit, as you may already have revised, is simply a digit that we add to some data, and we can use that digit to check the rest of the data is correct. So used in things like barcodes. So it's an extra piece of information that we add, and it actually becomes part of the data. So that's what a check digit is. So the algorithm then outputs the 5-digit number, including the check digit. The algorithm stops when -1 is input as the 4th digit. There's our algorithm. Let's have a look at question A. Give the line numbers for the statement showing. First of all, we have totaling. So totaling is a process. It's a process of adding something to a total. So keeping track of a total. So you can see in the code we have total set to 0, but that's not the process of totaling. That's just giving our total an initial value. So we need to be adding something to that total for it to be totaling. If we look a bit further down, we've got something here. So we're multiplying number by counter. We're adding that to the total, and then we're assigning that to the actual total. So essentially, if we keep going around here, we're just going to be adding something to the total, which is totaling. So let's pop that in. So that is on line 7. So let's pop that in for our first answer. Then the next one we have, where can we see a count controlled loop? So remember, count controlled loops are just loops where when we set them up, we know how many times they're going to run. And can you think which loop structure that is? If you say in for loop, you're absolutely spot on. A for loop is a loop structure that when we set it up, we define how many times it's going to run. That's why it's count controlled. And if we look here, we actually have got in the code, we've got two for loops. We've got one on line 4, and then we've also got one on line 16 down the bottom here. So I'm just going to use this. We only give the line numbers for the statement showing. Okay, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to put them all in. So it doesn't say give an example, give line numbers for the statement showing. So let's play it safe and put them all in. So count controlled loop, we've got line 4 is the start, and then that structure ends on line 12. Then the next for loop starts on line 16, and that for loop ends on line 18, where we have next. So that should be next counter. So I think they might have missed that when they wrote this question. But anyway, we'll have a look at the mark scheme in a second. And post condition loop. So a post condition loop is a loop where we're checking the condition at the end of the loop. So we've got a precondition loop, which is the while loop. While x is greater than 10, output hello world. So while loops, we check the condition at the start. That's a precondition loop. Repeat until is a post-condition loop, because we repeat, do some stuff, and then the until bit is right at the end. And if we have a look here, we got repeat until flag, or until flag is true. So that's our post-condition loop. We're checking the condition post the loop having gone through one iteration, for example. So we're checking it at the end. So post condition loop, so we've got line 2, which is the start of our post condition loop, and then we've also got the end of our post condition loop, which is line 20. Now let's have a look at the mark scheme for this one. So we've got line 7. So they're saying you can put either of these, but the question isn't totally clear. So I think you'd been fine if you just put 4 or 12. I couldn't remember what the mark scheme said, so I put both. They're both correct, so you're just going to get the 1 mark for getting them both right. And then we got 2 and 20. Right, so let's stop this one, and then we'll have a look see if we can find the errors in the next video. Thank you very much.